It may seem like as soon as you get into the groove with your baby's schedule, things get out of whack and all of a sudden things need to change. But how do you know if you really need to change their schedule or if something else might be going on? In today's video, we are going to talk all about how to know when to change your baby's schedule, when not to change your baby's schedule, and how to do it. First things first, I think it is so important to talk about when not to change your baby's schedule. So the most important thing to know is that you should never change your baby's schedule when they have had one day that was off naps or one night where they woke up a lot. Babies are human, okay? So they are not supposed to sleep perfectly. They're not supposed to take perfect naps every single day and sleep perfectly every single night. They're human. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you struggle to get back to sleep, and babies are exactly the same. Toddlers are exactly the same. So don't ever go make changes just because of one bad night. If your baby is going through a sleep regression, then you can determine after they're out of the sleep regression if they need a schedule change. Now, how do you know if it's a sleep regression? So generally, a sleep regression is going to affect all sleep. They're going to have short naps, skipped naps, fighting bedtime, waking up more often through the night, waking up early in the morning, and just generally not having as good of sleep as they always have. If this regression lasts longer than 2, 3, 4 weeks, then you know maybe we need to visit changing their schedule. And we'll jump into some of the ways to do that in a little bit here, but I also wanted to talk about when else you should not change your baby's schedule. So don't change their schedule if they're sick or if they're teething or if you're about to move or if they're starting daycare. Any of these things that are going to make a big impact on your child's life and possibly cause a regression are definitely times where you do not want to mess with their schedule. Their entire world is going to be different during all of these little transitions or big transitions. So don't go and just jump into changing their schedule just because other things are changing. If you're unsure what your baby's schedule should be, leave a comment down below. Just say the word schedule and I will give you a free custom schedule, or you can email me at missy@slumberandbloom.com and we will get your custom schedule delivered straight to your inbox. Once we determine that your baby does need a schedule change, there are many things that you need to consider. Is it time to drop a nap? Do we need to cut a nap shorter? Do we need more wake time in their day? Do they need a later bedtime? All of these different considerations need to be made because not everything needs to change all at once. If we find out that your baby needs a schedule shift, it might just be a little bit longer of a wake window in the morning before the first nap. It's not going to be an entirely dramatic, huge change all at once. Your baby's circadian rhythm is either going to be like, whoa, what are you doing if you change a million things all at once? Or you are going to make small changes and your baby's circadian rhythm is going to be like, yay, that's exactly what I needed. Now, if you're unsure how many naps your baby needs, download my free nap guide down below. It's going to break down by age how many naps a day your child should be taking and what to expect for their naps. Not all naps are created equally, so it's definitely important to understand what ages and stages your child's naps will be. So we've determined that it's time to make a shift in your baby's schedule. We determined that you don't need to shift every single part of their day all at once. So what do? I'm gonna tell you. You want to make very subtle changes. You don't need to change the entire schedule. So if your baby is waking up at 7 a.m. and they generally take a nap at 9, but they're only sleeping for a half hour, 45 minutes, and they're waking up happy, feeling well rested and ready to go, it means that they need a longer wake window in between waking up in the morning and taking that first nap. So what you want to do is push that nap time to 9:30. Now, I will say, if you have a very sensitive baby, they don't do well with changes, you may may want to only shift their schedule by 15 minutes. It sounds like it's not going to make a huge difference, but it does. So you only need to do this if you have a very sensitive child, but otherwise you can shift from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and hope they'll sleep until 11. Now, is this going to happen in one day? No, it's not. You can push their nap to 11:30 and maybe they'll sleep till 10, 10:30, and over time they're going to get used to building up that sleep pressure before that nap and sleeping until 11. An hour and a half is a perfect duration for a nap in order to bridge the gap from one nap to the next and then last nap until bedtime. Once your baby is 6 months old and they are on 2 or 3 predictable naps every single day, then you can start going by the clock schedule. Wake windows are still very important, but they're just a recommendation. Wake windows are not the end all be all. You know your child best. So if it is recommended that your child is up for about 2 hours, if you know that your child is extremely tired at 1 hour and 45 minutes, or maybe they're not tired and it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes, then you can adjust to really pinpoint your child's specific sleep needs. Every child is different, so every child may have different sleep needs. You may also be wondering how often your child's schedule is going to change. And during the first year of your child's life, it's going to change a lot. It may change month to month. It may change a lot more in the first 6 months than it will change in the second 6 months of their first year of life. But it should just come with the reality of the expectation that you have a baby and babies change and grow so incredibly quickly. Look at how big your baby was the day they were born and how big they are on their first birthday. This is the time of your child's life where they are growing at the most rapid pace. So yes, as they grow, their sleep needs change, and it's important to be realistic that just because at 6 months old, they have a great schedule, they're sleeping great, and then maybe by 7.5 months old, it kind of goes to crap and things change. And that's important to be realistic that these things are going to happen. These changes are going to happen, and it's important to just be realistic that these changes will happen. And around, you know, anywhere between 14, 16, 18 months, your child is going to be dropping from 2 naps to 1 nap, and that is a huge transition. So making sure that you know how to make that transition, and you can watch this video right here for my 2-to-1 nap transition, all the details on how to do that. But being realistic that schedules change is going to help you so much. Now don't forget, if you want a custom schedule, drop the word schedule in the comments down below or send me an email, missy@slumberandbloom.com, and I am so happy to help you figure out what your child's daily schedule should be. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot about shifting your baby's schedule. Please share it with a friend, like this video so it helps the algorithm show it to more moms who need help with their baby schedule, and keep blooming. Mwah.